Netflix is a fantastic, fantastic company. I love it. But their quality control for new products are always interesting because sometimes you get something that's like, let's say, Bird Box, which comes out of left field right before the end of the year, blows everybody away. They can't stop talking about it for weeks. And then other times you get Triple Frontier, which opened a couple months later with a much larger, much beefier cast. And it doesn't really go off with anything more than just a, oh, okay, here's this movie. That's the world they live in. But the thing is, they make enough money to be able to do that and get away with it. Because if one thing blows up, it does really well for them. And if something kind of fails, well, they just write it off and move on with their day. But they're doing something now that's even more interesting than both Bird Box and Triple Frontier. But I also feel for all the wrong reasons. Melissa McCarthy and her husband Ben Falcone have signed on to a Netflix movie alongside with Octavia Spencer called Thunder Force. Now, this movie will be written and directed by Ben Falcone, and it is a female superhero movie starring Melissa McCarthy as well as Octavia Spencer, which, according to Deadline, because the details are quite scarce, simply just a story about the two women getting superpowers. Not the most derivative concept on the planet, not the stupidest concept on the planet, considering that they're probably going to bring a lot of gross out humor and comedy like they did with The Boss and Life of the Party and Tammy from a couple of years ago, and bringing it into this particular world by having Melissa McCarthy bounce off of Octavia Spencer. Now, I really love Octavia Spencer, and I can't wait to see what this movie comes up with, considering that, well, I already pay for the service, so it's really nothing new. I'm not going to have to go out to go see it, which is good. But at the same time, it could also be another miss. It could be another casualty on the Netflix front, because where they've been succeeding with their television shows, their movies again are very hit or miss. And so we'll have to wait and see what happens with this one. But the one thing I like about Netflix is that they allow these creatives to operate within that particular world. They get to be creative without having a lot of the studio oversight. When Melissa McCarthy teams up with her husband to make a movie for Warner's or Universal or Sony, which she's done, at the end of the day, they're still kind of beholden to the studio heads, whereas Netflix kind of lets them just do whatever. And quite frankly, that whatever I think could actually work out in their favor. And I'm very curious to see what happens. But I ask you that question I always do. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below.